Welcome back to Dear English Batch. I'm Emily, and today we are talking about job interviews. Joining me is Alex. How are you, Alex?
I'm good, Emily. But honestly, interviews thoda scary hote hain.
That's natural, Alex. But with the right strategy, anyone can succeed. Let's start with the success tips. My first tip is to always research. Don't just go unprepared. Diamse check the company's website and their goals.
Right. It shows that you actually care about the job.
Exactly. My second tip is to use the STAR method. When they ask a question, don't just ramble. Give a structured answer so the interviewer can asanise understand your success.
And don't forget to quantify. Instead of saying, I am good, use numbers like your 38 views milestone. It makes a bada impact.
Now, let's talk about mistakes. One big mistake is talking badly about your old boss. Even if you had a gudva experience, stay professional.
I agree. It makes you look like a negative person.
Another mistake is weak body language. If you look down or don't smile, the interviewer might think you are barishan or not confident.
So keep a smile and look at the yes. A simple smile can solve sorry the tension.
So, keep a smile and look at the yes. A simple smile can solve sorry the tension.
Alex, we will talk now about the silent rejection.
The culture fit myth. In IT, everyone talks about culture fit. It sounds friendly, right? It's not. It's a filter. We're diving into the water cooler test. If an interviewer asks you about a non-tech hobby and you freeze, did you just lose the job? We'll look at why being a 10 times coder isn't enough if the team thinks you're a 0 times communicator.
The red flags you're missing. Interviews are a two-way street, but some streets are traps. The family trap. Why a recruiter calling the company a family is often a code for unpaid overtime. The ghost technical. When a company asks you to solve a real-world production bug for free during an interview. Is it a test or is it free labor?
The secret question. There is one question that determines your seniority level before you even start. It's not about Python or AWS. It's about failure. I'll show you how to describe your biggest system crash in a way that makes them want to hire you on the spot.
You had the certifications. Your GitHub was glowing. The technical round felt like a breeze. But then, the email. We've decided to move in another direction. No feedback, no explanation, just silence. Today, we aren't talking about why you failed the coding test. We're talking about the shadow interview, the things they noticed when you thought they weren't looking.
The server room is dark, but the lights are coming on. Next time, you won't just be another candidate. You'll be the solution. Stay tuned.
Interview tips, the pro level. The final question power move. Instead of asking about benefits, ask, what is the one thing the person in this role could do in their first 90 days to make your life significantly easier? It forces them to visualize you already working there. The STAR T method. You know, situation, task, action, result. Add T, transfer. Explain how that result transfers directly to their current problems. The tech portfolio hack. Don't just show the finished code, show a decision log. Why did you choose React over Vue? Why this database? In IT, the why is worth more than the what.
That's it for today's batch. Remember, practice makes perfect.
Thank you, Emily. Alibar, we will talk about more vocabulary.
Alex, before we even get to the room, let's talk about the black hole. I apply, my resume matches 90% of the keywords, and nothing. Not even a rejection. Is the ATS actually broken?
It's not broken, Emily. It's tuned too high. Most companies aren't looking for the best candidate, they're looking for the least risky one. If your resume looks like a job hopper, even if you were just contracting, the algorithm flags you as a flight risk. We need to talk about resume smoothing.
Smoothing? You mean lying?
No, I mean framing. Instead of listing contractor at X, you list your own consultancy LLC. You shift from being a temporary worker to a business owner. It changes the psychology of the bot instantly. Psychological warfare.
Okay, let's say I get the interview. I'm at the whiteboard. The lead dev is staring at me. I feel like I'm being watched by a hawk. Wait, you can flip a rejection?
If you know the right glitch in the system,
Anything is possible.
because you are. But here's the secret: they don't care if you get the syntax right. I've hired people who failed the code but passed the logic. In these middle 5 minutes, you need to use the thinking out loud technique, but with a twist. Don't just explain what you're doing, explain the trade offs.
Trade offs?
Yes, say, I could use a hash map here for one, speed, but if memory is a constraint on our servers, I'll stick to an array. That one sentence tells them you understand infrastructure, not just code. That's how a junior becomes a senior in their eyes.
This is the part I hate. Tell me about a time you had a conflict with a coworker. It feels like a trap.
It is a trap. They want to see if you're a toxic genius. The IT world is tired of brilliant people who are impossible to work with. When they ask about conflict, they are looking for de escalation.
So don't say I was right and they were wrong.
Exactly. Even if you were 100% right, your answer should be, we had a technical disagreement, so I suggested we run a small A/B test to let the data decide. You didn't win the argument, the data did. That makes you a dream hire for a manager.
The reverse interview. The end of the interview, they ask, do you have questions for us? I usually ask about the tech stack.
Boring. They already told you the tech stack in the job description. If you want to rank high in their post-interview meeting, ask the power question.
Which is? So, to recap, smooth a resume, explain the trade offs, let data win the arguments, and ask the hard questions.
You're learning. But there's one more thing. The post-interview thank you isn't a politeness. It's a final technical submission. In our next episode, I'll show you how to write a value add email that can actually reverse a no into a yes.
Alex, I feel like I've spent years trying to play a game where I didn't even have the rulebook. You're saying the code is only 50% of the job?
Exactly. The other 50% is navigating the human architecture. You can be the best architect in the world, Emily, but if you can't convince the gatekeeper to let you into the building, your blueprints don't matter.
So, what's the final word for everyone listening who just got another rejection email today?
Don't take it personally. A rejection isn't a reflection of your worth, it's a failure of their detection system. They looked for a standard candidate, and you're an outlier. Next time, we don't wait for them to find us. We make ourselves impossible to ignore.
Impossible to ignore. I like the sound of that. Next week, we're talking about the post-interview pivot. How to turn a no into a yes using one specific follow-up email.
The value add glitch. It works 60% of the time, every time. See you in the next cycle, Emily.
New here? Don't forget to subscribe and join our 30-day English transformation. See you then!